Good morning.
Or afternoon.
Yeah.
Welcome back to an afternoon of Monday Morning Grit.
Front.
We're sitting on the front porch right now.
It's
Front
very
porch
nice.
on Proctor, watching the cars go by.
Such beautiful weather.
We got the breeze in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching the leaves turn back and forth.
Neighbors having a cigarette.
Oh, of course.
Great time to have a cigarette right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Grit City.
Yep, sure is.
It's been a nice weekend, too, although I wasn't here for the whole of it.
Yeah, it was. I went to Chambers Bay.
Oh,
Saturday.
you did? Did you go see Smash Mouth?
No, that's I think that's in August.
Yeah, I think it is, too.
But
Did you just walk around and see some trains?
yeah, sure did.
It's got a good vantage point of the...
Great vantage point with the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I talked about it previously, that they don't want people putting locks on the bridge anymore.
Oh, is it a weight issue?
I think so. So like there's like the little steel cables that sort of prevent people from falling off the bridge or whatever. But if you put too many locks on them, it not only does it, fatigue them, but I think the locks, if they're of a bad quality, they start to rust, and then it makes it look bad.
Yeah. Well, what about the romantic one in Paris?
Well, this isn't Paris.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just a Paris knockoff. Do we need another one of those?
Yeah, all it takes is here's what it is. All it takes is just one person to put up a lock, and then everybody starts doing it. It's like an infectious disease.
Yeah, right.
Right? Or like carve initials into a tree or something. Everybody starts doing that. But so they have this new art installation. They call it Swoon.
Okay.
And it's like these big steel rods that you can put locks on. It's near the bridge.
Okay.
Right?
It's not actually on the bridge. But it's built to put locks on.
Yes, exactly.
It's called Swoon?
It's called Swoon.
So to swoon, that's like almost like fainting in romance.
Yes.
Okay.
At least that's how I understand it.
Okay, that makes sense.
But, it's like these big steel like poles that were built to support locks, and you put the locks on it. It's right at the entrance to the bridge, so people who have their lock, they're like, oh, I guess they don't want us to put the lock on the bridge. And then they have like these little bins around it that you deposit the key in if you got a key. A lot of people, they get the ones with the combination locks.
Oh, yeah.
I would break up with somebody if they got one of those like $3 combination locks.
Well, I don't know.
Bridge.
Sometimes then you could share a romantic number together.
That's a new concept for me, a romantic number.
I
guess like an anniversary date, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's something. Or yeah, you know how you have a song together. You'd also have a number you share.
I think like that makes sense for like the luggage combination lock, and I can see that, like I'd be.
Oh,
fine
you're
with
talking
that.
about the
I'm
turn
talking
to the
about
right,
like
turn to the left,
one you
turn to the right.
You don't even get to pick the number for that one,
I think you can set those.
Maybe.
But I'm not sure exactly how you do it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can. You could probably do a lot of things if you knew how the lock worked.
Oh, yeah, right.
But
With a little skeleton key.
Yeah.
Dude, take a skeleton key to that bridge and then walk away a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. Just all the scrap
Then
locks.
you could have all those scrap locks.
Which,
Probably
speaking
sell those for $1 a piece.
Speaking of which, you have all these locks that aren't supposed to be up there. I saw a guy up on the bridge, and he was practicing his lock picking on the bridge.
Oh, really? He
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, he takes
Was he successful?
Yeah, he takes he goes out there, he just picks some of them, takes them off, and puts them on the swoon poles.
Oh, he's transferring them to the other one, so people will get the idea of what to do.
But he gets his lock picking practice out of it too.
Oh, that's fun.
Picks up a new hobby.
You ever try lock picking?
No. But it looks interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it seems very practical too.
Yeah.
I've very rarely locked myself out, but in the few situations I had, I wish I had the skill.
I don't know if you ever saw this in like a TV show or something, but somebody opens up a door or unlocks a door with like
a credit
card.
card?
How do you do that?
You're sacrificing your card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it really cuts it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you familiar with this tactic?
Oh yeah, I've seen it before, and I almost feel like I've seen it on MythBusters as well. But I can't quite recall how busted it was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I've seen that.
Because I think there are some kinds of, very simple, like the chain with the thing, like that kind of lock
Yeah.
variety.
Yep. You ever had like the chain one engaged and you forget that you have it, so you open the door
open it
and
just a little bit, and it pulls back on you like a dog on a leash.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan.
I kind of like it. Because then it allows you to be locked, but you can still open it up a little bit.
Yeah, but you and your honey can go on down to, I don't know, Tacoma Screw or wherever they sell locks, get a combination lock, and then set it for the date of the Smash Mouth concert.
Oh, there
you went to
go
see at the Chambers Bay Golf Course.
Memorable day.
Stick it on the swoon poles.
I think that. How many locks do you think the pole can hold?
Oh, man, I would say easily 150.
150?
They're pretty tall.
That doesn't seem like that many.
Yeah, but like there's a bunch of them.
Oh, there's quite a few. 150 on each pole.
There's probably like 20, 30 poles.
Oh, okay. So 150 times 20 then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's much more. I was going to say 150. Those will fill up quick, especially if one guy is transferring them all day.
It probably depends on the size of the lock, too.
Yeah, you got a giant lock.
If they're a good-sized lock, maybe 150. But if people are buying like little baby locks, like maybe 300.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was interesting to see. When I was there was like all these little cutout butterflies with people's names on them lining like
cutout
a
butterflies.
Pedestrian path. Yeah, like somebody cut out little butterfly shapes in foam and like put them on wooden sticks, and then they were like around the perimeter of the meadow, right?
Okay.
And I was like, what is this for? And then I find this sign, and it's like 1 in 4 women experience loss of pregnancy or loss of an infant. And, like, when I first showed up to the park, there's all these people here for a gathering, and I'm like, oh, what a wonderful day for a barbecue.
Yeah, that's not an inspiring sign.
And then I was like, this is the saddest barbecue I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. That's a very sad sign.
Yeah.
Imagine making that sign. Being like, this is good.
Yeah, I was...
They need to inform the people.
Yeah, it was called like the Tears Foundation or something like that.
Oh no, that sounds even sadder.
It was like juxtaposed to like this big graduation party where people are playing music and having fun.
Celebrating growth.
And then the other group is like, yeah, Carlos would have been 6 today. It's like, damn.
Yeah, well, the circle of life.
Somebody didn't deconflict the permits for that one.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that's something they even pay attention to.
Probably
it's like,
not,
should these be next to each other?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe if like the KKK wants to throw a party, they'll make sure it's not next to something like that.
Yeah, probably something like that. But like, I don't know.
Maybe not.
You
never know.
You wouldn't put the AM radio convention right next to the FM radio convention.
Well, or maybe you could, and their broadbands would both be able to signal clearly because they don't interfere with each other.
I feel like the park would turn into a reenactment of the Spanish Civil War pretty quick.
Oh, no, I picture it as like a perfect mesh of a woven blanket,
We're covering both the
exactly.
Because
that's the whole thing is you can have an FM receiver and an AM receiver, and they're on different bands of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Just like the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, which car?
I think every car you can listen to both FM and AM on the same antenna.
Exactly. Crazy.
So I guess maybe they are. I don't know. I feel like AM's always
it's like the left hand and the right hand.
I feel like AM's got an inferiority complex. Like I don't listen to any local AM stations.
I think AM, it definitely had a big drop off. I think it used to be the big one.
Yeah.
I think it used to be just FM or AM, and then they added FM. And then AM kind of switched. AM's a lot more talk radio.
Yep.
And it's a lot more political, AM.
Mm-hmm.
FM's a lot more music.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think AM reaches a longer distance.
I think it does, too.
So it's a little more rural, is the AM.
Yeah. Yep. But, your family...
I always thought it should be AM, PM.
Yeah.
There's another AM in my life? This is too much.
So how was your family? Where'd you go for your family gathering?
Went down to Skamania.
Skamania.
Yeah,
Nice.
right off the river there, right up from Hood River.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, right up from not really that close to Portland, like a mile inland for an hour inland from Portland.
Okay.
But yeah, beautiful location. I went there for a big family reunion. And I'm the kind of the leader of the family in some respects. I'm the president of the family council.
Nice.
So I had a lot of responsibilities, but it was also very nice to just see my family and reconnect with all my favorite family members.
Good food?
Food was pretty good.
That's good.
I didn't eat very much of it because I'm used to staying up much later and getting up much later.
Yep.
So it's even still typically difficult for me to eat early in my waking cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not used to really eating very much until around 2 p.m.
Right.
So breakfast is a waste on me. A 7 a.m. breakfast is a waste on me, and even to a certain extent a noon lunch.
Do they play Hail to the Chief when you show up to family events?
No, they don't. Because the thing is, we also have Renee, our CEO. He has a little more clout than I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also have some family board members, and they're a little bit more senior to my position.
Okay.
But yeah, there's the respect is paid, of course.
Yeah.
I had if you ask a group to give you a round of applause, they'll pretty much always do it, unless you have very poor command of the crowd. It's a very low bar to get the audience to applaud for you.
I feel like at that point, you basically have a riot on your hands if you can't get them to even applaud for you.
Although I do have to say, there was one point in the meeting, it was late in the meeting, I was taking over, and I was trying to put some energy into the crowd, so I had them give a round of applause, and then I think it was for one of my aunts. And then I tried to get them to do a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And they almost didn't.
Almost. Ooh,
yeah,
that
if I didn't have
awkward.
My Uncle Mike didn't stand up, they wouldn't have done it. Which then I would have. If you ask for a standing ovation and are denied, then that's you got a tough rest of your meeting ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, I also don't like it when everything gets a standing ovation, and it's like,
oh yeah, no, that's too much.
It needs to be special.
Yeah, what is this? What are we in church? Yeah, a lot of standing and kneeling. In church,
maybe I was at a church. That maybe explains it.
Yeah, a lot of standing and kneeling at church.
Yeah,
maybe too much, but it is good to get a rush of blood to your extremities.
Yeah, okay.
Wake you up a little bit.
Yeah. Not too much, though. You don't want to pass out.
Only when you're deserved.
You ever stood up so fast the darkness starts to creep in from the periphery? Because
totally.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like, don't stand up that fast again. Or I'll take you into the darkness.
I watched the Sounders play on during the weekend.
Oh, nice. Yes. How was the match?
It was at home. They played... Oh, jeez. I don't know. How did I forget?
I was going to say, my cousin Ceci was watching the Rain play.
Oh, yeah.
And they were playing San Diego, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch the regular Sounders game.
Who did we play? I remember being upset because we drew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That's crazy. I can't remember.
If only you could recall.
I know.
Well,
maybe they're not
I guess it wasn't that important.
They're not that important.
Whereas
who the fuck are they?
My grandma would say, must have been a lie.
Yep. Well, anyway, so it was the Pride. Oh, Orlando. That's why I couldn't remember the Eastern Conference.
Of course.
Yeah, we were playing Orlando, and it was the Pride match.
Ah, okay. Did they wear special jerseys?
The numbers on their jerseys were rainbow.
Interesting
and
way to do it.
And the captain's armband was rainbow too.
Interesting. Did it look good? Or was it kind of
It's one of those things where it's like it's about as tasteful as you could include a rainbow into the existing jersey.
You're still ham-fisting it.
If you built an entire jersey around like Pride, like you could probably make something pretty cool, but
then everybody has to do it with their existing uniforms. It's a little tough.
And it can get actually they do that with the Earth Day match.
Oh yeah.
They all get these jerseys made out of recycled plastic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's the same colors.
It's the same colors for each home and visiting team. So if you watch two different matches,
Mm-hmm.
the home teams are wearing the same colors and the visiting teams are wearing the same colors. So it's opposite teams on the field, but there's only two jersey color types for the entire league.
Oh, okay.
Home gets one, visitors get another. But yeah, in terms of the entire experience,
Have you felt it? Is it a nice uniform, or you think you can breathe the same?
it feels a little different, but I think it would be comfortable. I just don't like the way they look very much.
Yeah.
And it's not the team's colors. It's like, whose jersey is this? It's not my jersey, not my team's. But
yeah, right.
yeah, they were giving away bags, reusable bags. I didn't get one, so they must have gone pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Reusable bags. That's hardly a swag.
they
I guess it depends how nice the bag is.
they had a giveaway, and the prize was autographed CDs. I don't even remember who
Autographed
it was,
CDs.
but I was like, some of these people, actually, most of these people don't have a CD player, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know when cars stopped making that a regular feature, but
I mean, I know my car's 5 years old and it doesn't have one.
yeah, my car's older than that, and it does. So not a great barometer for me.
My dad's truck is so old it doesn't have one.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, yeah, because mine also has a cassette player.
Yeah.
Still too. So I think mine's like 15 years old.
But yeah, the whole experience overall, I'd say it was pretty gay.
Was it really very gay?
Well, it was a little.
It was just pretty gay.
It was like
It
part
wasn't full.
gay, it was part bisexual.
It wasn't full frolicking through the meadow, but it was singing in the rain.
There was definitely singing.
Yeah.
No rain though.
No rain.
No
Well,
rain.
There you go.
But yeah, a lot of rainbow, very rainbow.
So it was singing in the rainbow.
Singing in the rainbow. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, the pride match is always fun. Get good turnout for that one. Last year they gave away sunglasses. They had enough sunglasses for me at least. As long as I get my free goodie for going to the game, I'm happy. If I get a free goodie and no one else in that entire stadium gets a free goodie, not my problem. I got mine.
Yeah, as long as you get yours.
I want my goodie.
And how do you even know if everybody else got there?
I guess you look around the stadium, you see 800 people also wearing the giveaway sunglasses or hat or other item. But you know what I also saw this week? You ever seen somebody with like the full Habsburg package,
Full Habsburg package.
You know what a Habsburg chin is?
Oh, yeah, where with the it's like a butt chin, but not quite really.
It like really comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody with that, and I'm like, damn. Imagine some mistakes people made centuries ago still affecting people today.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably true with almost every feature of the human body.
It is. I think it's just like there aren't very many that you can like
Pinpoint
to,
an
and you're
era.
like, somebody had a kid with their sibling.
Okay. I
And
see
it-
what you're saying.
Like I said, like,
Well, what about the Mongolian Empire?
was that like?
Well, there was a time when they thought that, the term Mongoloid,
Mm-hmm.
they thought that Mongolians just had something, they were a little different or special or funny.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that when people who had Down syndrome, they're like, oh, they got a little Mongolian in them, is what they thought.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy that they thought that.
And that's where Mongoloid comes from. Yeah. So
Huh.
so I think that's an example, but it's not valid anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's disproven.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I
think.
don't even think you're supposed to use the word mongoloid anymore.
Oh, well, I'm using it in reference to it was.
No,
used
I
poorly in
understand,
history,
but like it
yeah,
used to be a
it's-
classification.
Yeah, it used to be
when you
more
break,
like a
when you
scientific
broke
term.
down people's races.
Exactly, and
Like I guess
now you hardly ever see Mongolian people.
I guess I would be a Caucasoid.
There was a Mongolian guy in my high school growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and there was something a little off about him, but I don't think it was his Mongolian heritage.
Yeah, but like you have that one joke where you talk about fetal alcohol syndrome, where
Oh,
you can look
yeah,
at a
that's
few
right.
features and you're like, somebody made some poor choices.
Yeah, he's got some, a few too many glasses of champagne. You can see it in their ears.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, wow, it's. I don't think I'd ever actually seen it in real life before, the Habsburg chin, but I was like, when you see it, you're like, that's a Habsburg chin. You're almost excited. It's like when you see a hunchback, a real life hunchback.
Oh, yeah. You mean the whale or of Notre Dame?
Like the people. Like.
Oh, yeah. That's very rare these days because you know how we do scoliosis tests in school?
Yeah.
So we catch it young now. We used to, let it go away.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was an exciting thing I saw. Here's some Tacoma news. A ship carrying cranes, ship-to-shore cranes, like these giant 400-foot tall ship-to-shore cranes, is in the port of Tacoma. It has 4 of them on it right now.
Interesting. They're giant. You can tell how big they are?
Oh, absolutely. They're massive, dude.
Interesting.
And
do they stick straight up?
Right now, they're the tallest structures in Tacoma, probably.
Whoa, really? From sea level?
From sea level, I would say.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're over there right now. There's 4 of them on a ship.
Crazy. Where are they going?
2 of them are being delivered here to Tacoma.
Oh, so we'll have some bigger cranes?
We'll have some bigger cranes.
How much bigger are they than our current cranes?
So actually, there's 4 cranes on this ship, as said earlier. The 2 that we're getting, we already have cranes of this size. But there's 2 that I guess are going to go to another port, and they're slightly taller. Slightly taller. I don't know what the other port
they
is.
Got a little bit better.
But I think they're called Super Post Panamax cranes, the ones we're getting.
Whoa, Super Post Panamax?
Right. So, like, with ship-to-shore cranes, it's all about width. What's the width of, like, it can reach, right?
Because how far over can it grab?
As we put more and more containers on a ship, right? We measure a container ship by TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units of containers, right? And the more we fit on it, typically the wider those ships are going to be,
and
right?
then the ability to reach out with a crane gets more and more difficult.
Exactly.
Because you're leveraged against your weight there.
So what does Panamax come from? Well, it was ships that were as wide as was allowed to go through the Panama Canal, but through, upgrades in navigation technology, ship handling, and upgrades to the canal itself, that's increased over time. So you've had to change, ship classification. So you have like Panamax, Super Panamax, Neo Panamax, and Super Post Panamax.
Interesting. I feel like they're going to run out of terms. I always feel that way for the postmodern era. It's like, well, you're really painting yourself, the next generation, into a corner here.
Yeah. They just have to come up with a whole new thing.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty cool. So then we'll be able to get even bigger ships coming through.
We should. So I think the ships that Tacoma will be rated to handle based on the depth of the waterways and the reach of the cranes will be 18,000 20-foot equivalent units.
Wow. 18,000? So how much bigger is that than the biggest we can take now?
I think most of the terminals right now can probably take between, I would say, 12 to 14,000.
So okay. So this is a pretty significant increase.
It's a very significant increase, and if we want to remain competitive as a port, it's a very necessary and essential upgrade.
Interesting. So some ports, they don't do the upgrade; they go by the wayside because these big ships don't need even bother sniffing around.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is we have a naturally deep port. right? So a lot of ports have to spend a ton of money dredging.
Ugh.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, earthworks is expensive.
It wasn't until very recently we've had to do that just a little.
Oh, yeah?
Just a little, because the ships are now getting so big, maybe even having a deep port doesn't matter as much. Like, you still got to do a little bit of digging.
Oh, really? Just because they're somewhere in the channel along the way?
I think it needs to be 52 feet deep at the berth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And probably pretty wide for that 52 feet so they can make it through.
Very much so. And that's why, the bridges over the waterways were demolished, and the 11th Street Bridge, which is still standing, I think is slated for demolition when the city can pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, when the city can pay for
When
it,
the
I'm sure
city-
they'll get around to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. One of these days, when the day they have to stop subsidizing the ferries with the road fund, they'll be able to demolish
Exactly.
the bridge.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's super exciting. I encourage y'all to go and check it out. If you don't even have to go down by the port. You can see it. If you can see the water, you can see the ship with the cranes.
Oh, yeah?
It's not something you see often.
Well,
It's
there you
wor-
go. A little special occasion for y'all. And I mean, if you're going to be looking at the water anytime, it's going to be this week. It's beautiful out.
It's gorgeous.
We're basking in the sun right here.
It's gorgeous. But yeah, the cranes, they were built in China by a company called
China.
ZPMC,
Okay.
and
They're the crane masters over there.
I guess they're
They're
the
the
only.
masters of the crane.
I think they're the only guys that build cranes like that anymore.
Oh, yeah? Any more?
Hyundai used to
Back
build
in
them.
the day, they used to pump out the Supermax.
I'm sure we built them here at some point.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they got the deep ports over there, too.
Yeah.
But they're the master. I was going to say they're the masters of the crane technique. I remember the Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
He taught him the crane kick.
Yeah.
And that's how he won the whole big tournament,
Okay.
Crane, it cannot defend. Yeah. Have you ever heard that Gary Goldman bit?
No.
Oh, my God, I got to show you this Gary Goldman bit later about the
Okay.
Karate Kid. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. And listeners, look it up as well. Gary Goldman, Karate.
But so I've heard there's a bit of a security concern with these cranes. They're very sophisticated pieces of technology, and they handle all of the container cargo coming in and out of the United States. And there's a concern that maybe Chinese firms could somehow access like metadata from these cranes, or like somehow learn what kinds of cargo is being unloaded at what times and where across the United States based on these cranes.
Why
Now,
is that a problem?
I don't know if that's been substantiated, but one reason that could be a problem is some of this stuff is, related to like national security or like trade secrets, stuff like that maybe we don't want everybody knowing.
Okay.
Right.
I'm usually in favor of flow of information. I like things to be open and honest, and if you can't get it one way, you'll probably get it another way. Is the way it usually seems to me.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
If, say, for instance, and like I said, I'm not saying this is happening, but in theory it could happen if data was being collected on cargo being loaded and unloaded by, third-party entities in China.
They could sell it to pirates.
Well, they wouldn't tell us.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
See,
well,
if
then we'd have to gather the information
if-
secretly.
If we knew, like, if it was, like, transparent up front, like, oh, yeah, by the way, we sell your data that we collect from this crane, then it'd be like, oh, well, okay. Then
That's the price of doing
then
business.
that's something we consider, and it's like, well, maybe we'll build our own cranes, right? But if, like, that's not part of the understanding.
We can't build our own cranes, I guess.
That's sneaky. We don't like sneaky. We don't like
I
sneaky.
guess not.
Did you you got off of CenturyLink, didn't you? Because of their
Oh my
sneakiness.
God, what a crazy thing they did to me. They forced migrated me to it's like it starts with a Q, I think. Quantum.
Quantum, okay.
Yeah, but they didn't notify Quantum, even though they're their sister company.
Right.
They didn't notify them or transfer any service.
Mm.
So they ended our service with CenturyLink, told us that we were in Quantum, and actually, I finds out 3 days ago I got billed by Quantum. I never even gave them any of my information. I tried to contact them. They never even had an account made for me in their history. They couldn't trace the transaction.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I had to I called my bank and they had to shut down my card, and they're giving me a new card in 5 business days, and they couldn't undo it because I declared that there was a fraud, and then they're investigating they're going to investigate the fraud and get back to me in a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So because I might be a recurring monthly charge by this company that isn't providing me any service, and I never signed up for.
Yeah, that's wild. Was the whole neighborhood force migrated?
You know, I actually haven't talked to any of our neighbors about it. I could to the lady across the street, but I think it was only if you were on fiber, not if you're on cable.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you? So I guess you must have switched providers.
Yeah. So now I'm with Xfinity.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
I had to
That
go cable instead of fiber.
because I feel like some neighborhoods it's you can if you want this service, it's it's only available through us.
Yeah. Right.
In fact, I think where I was growing up in Virginia, if you wanted high-speed internet, it was only CenturyLink.
Yeah. Then they'll gouge you.
Yeah, with
but at least the price isn't that bad. It's only $65 a month or whatever.
yeah,
And it's the same speed, fiber and cable, for where we're at. So
yeah, that's not bad at all.
yeah.
Another piece of Tacoma news. I believe there are 2 open positions on the Transportation Planning Commission for the city.
Whoa, really?
Yep.
They're elected positions?
I think you have to apply. I think they're chosen by the city council.
Oh, the city council. Well,
Yeah.
they can be bribed easily.
Yeah,
Are you thinking of throwing your hat in the ring?
maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be a really fun position for you, probably.
Yeah.
You'd take it
But,
seriously and be responsible.
I'll try. I'll try.
Do you think you'd be somewhat qualified?
No.
Not even at a little.
I know nothing about transit planning.
But you'd love to learn.
Oh, yeah. I learn on the job after people are like, oh, yeah, you're going to be planning for the city transit.
Well, you'll be doing better than the bozos they got
It's
right now.
It's I need somebody to explain to me the difference between a feeder and an arterial road and a collector.
Well, the person who admits their ignorance is sometimes better in that position than somebody who's stubbornly incorrect.
I feel like that position is 90% cyclists trying to get bike lanes installed.
Oh, my goodness. My dad is very against bike lanes.
I've heard cyclists are some of the most well-organized and persistent players in local politics.
Yeah, they're like the NRA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the amount of bike lane, if it would be nice if we were Chinese and or Holland or whatever, and everyone rode a bicycle, but to allocate a tenth of your roadway to what represents 1,000th of the population is it's an inequitous split.
Which, if you want bike lanes, you got to be out there, because I'll tell you what, when I'm driving, most of the bike lanes I see, they're empty.
Yeah,
They're empty.
you never
Where's
really
the
see 'em.
presence? Seattle's better.
Seattle, which is stupid because of the hills. You would never want to bike in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's a very poor city for biking.
Which I guess is why electric bikes are probably
Exactly.
a good
Shout out my
investment.
cousin Justin with Grin Technologies. He's the future.
It's a good investment, much better for climbing hills.
Oh yeah, and better for the environment as well.
But yeah, 2 positions open. Maybe it is elected.
If it's elected, you should throw your hat in the ring, and I think we could run a campaign that would actually get you elected.
I'll look into it a little more, but
We can get all the Grittisons behind you.
Applications are due by the 29th of June.
That's coming up real soon.
Very soon. I learned about it pretty late.
Okay. Well, how do you think you need 5,000 signatures or something like that?
I don't think so.
Because I'd pound the pavement for this. This would be sick if we got you elected.
I don't know if I could do that much work right now between now and the
Between now and
29th.
then, me and Macy pounding the pavement.
Pounding the pavement. Just go up on stage at Tacoma Comedy Club.
Yeah,
and be
there.
like,
That'd
Would
be 60 people right there.
would you all do me a favor?
Would you sign this petition so that I can become the transportation?
It probably isn't even 5,000 signatures. Could you
No,
imagine?
5,000 would be crazy. It's like a hundredth
need-
of the population of the city.
You need 5,000 to like run for president of the
Yeah,
United
exactly.
States.
I bet you only need 200.
Probably not even that. You probably just need to file an application, like just that you exist and you live in the
You
city.
live
I
in
think
the city
I think the
limits
only
and you have a
requirement.
phone bill.
I think the only requirement is that you're a Tacoma resident.
Oh my goodness! If this is elected, I'm excited to see where this campaign's about to go.
Port commissioner would be cool.
You know, I met the port commissioner of Seattle, or former port commissioner of Seattle at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the port of Seattle. Yep, he was also the governor.
Mm.
Whatever his name was. I met him. I talked with him. He has a nice Asian guy. You don't know our former governors.
No.
Shoot, I can see his face so clearly, and I've met him several times. Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Being the head of the port is a good stepping stone in government or in politics.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
They don't make very much though, not around here.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Like 50 grand a year, I think.
What?
Yeah.
That's hardly more than the minimum wage in these parts.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
you gotta
maybe
have
you
a
get
second.
good benefits.
You gotta have a second job
Yeah.
to be port commissioner.
Well, then you're probably on the board of something as well.
Yeah, I imagine companies are probably gonna want to have you on the board.
Exactly, and then those positions will pay you a lot more
Yeah.
and with a lot less work.
Yep. I'm looking for a house in Tacoma.
Oh yeah, where have you been looking?
Mostly central Tacoma.
Okay, I think that's the best part.
Not a lot of inventory in central Tacoma.
I can imagine it's not really flipping.
Yeah, well, the thing is right now is the interest rates are still pretty high, so people are a
Yes,
bit
they are.
reluctant to move if they already have a house. So
Okay, so they're not selling them either.
normally the inventory that would be available is not available. So slim pickings, but there's some nice stuff out there. There's also some very not nice stuff out there.
Oh yeah, have you? How much of a fixer-upper are you in for?
Roof is a deal breaker. If the roof needs to be
yeah.
redone, nah, I can't do
Cancel
that.
that,
Can't
yeah.
do that. But
Although I hear if you get your roof redone with solar panels, it can actually be not as big of a hit because of there's these solar panel rebates, or whatever they call them, tax deductions that you can do when you redo your roof if you put the solar panels on them. So Sean was thinking about it for this house because he has to get, you have to redo your roof every 20 years or so, or reshingle it or whatever, and he's like halfway through, and he was like, well, maybe I'll do it early and get this solar panel rebate.
yeah, the thing is, I think you would still have to take out like a loan.
Oh yeah, probably.
And I can't do that right
You don't need
now
to
with
do
the
that on
mortgage
top of
application.
buying-
Yeah,
on
with
top of the house.
application
Yeah,
on
you
it.
can't
Yeah,
do that.
but
You can't live in a leaky house,
yeah, no. So roof
Yeah, probably
is
the roof.
Roof is out.
Yeah, foundation. Anything wrong with the foundation?
out.
No luck.
Yeah.
No luck.
Mold. I'm not like there are a couple houses listed that have mold.
Oh, interesting.
Everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Interesting.
Yep.
Someone's trying to sell a moldy house.
A moldy house.
There's more than
It's-
one moldy
it's like-
house on the market.
Well, I've seen two so far,
Uh-huh.
and it'll be like
It's
This-
a really funny deal breaker to me for some reason.
this diamond in the rough.
Uh-huh.
Bring your contractors. I'm talking the mold is so
Bring
bad.
your contractors, they say.
I'm telling you, the mold is so bad. You're probably just gonna have to tear out everything,
All the way to the studs.
everything, and then just rebuild the entire interior.
Interesting. That seems like a lot, but that's actually less than like if you have foundation problems.
Yeah. Or like if the side sewer needs to be replaced, that's a deal breaker.
Oh yeah, no thank ye.
But I'm also starting to realize like I've got I'm not trying to be super picky, but I've got some pet peeves when it comes to houses.
Oh yeah, you got your own little peccadillos.
Yeah. You open up the front door right into the kitchen. I don't like that.
You don't want to go into the kitchen from the front door.
No.
Interesting. You want a foyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like
or
the
a little
living
hallway or a living room.
Yeah,
or
the living room.
What if it was the bathroom? The front door opens
Just
to
goes
the
into the bathroom. I've seen that with a back door. It's not a bad idea for a back door.
For a back door, now you're
front,
talking.
Front door, I don't like that.
Well, just pretend it's the back door, I guess.
I saw this house.
Uh-huh.
It was perfect, beautiful house, great. The one problem I had with it was the owner designed it to, like, the kitchen and dining area to look like an Old West saloon. Like, it even had the doors.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't.
Then you'd have to buy a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Some boots and Wrangler jeans.
That's too much,
Yeah, a little too much.
It's too much. You want it to be tasteful, but not too bland, right?
Yeah, have a little character, but you don't need to, ham-fisted in there.
Yeah, there's some cool places, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you look at some out-of-budget ones and, start to dream a little bit?
Sometimes you do, yeah. Sometimes
I know
you do.
people who they're not even in the market for houses. That's just what they do to go fall asleep.
I've noticed they haven't sold the Rust Mansion yet. It's like $5 million.
The
dude.
Rust Mansion, dude.
That thing's crazy.
Well, a boy can dream.
Boy, I was like, yeah, your monthly payment would be like $30,000. I was like, no way.
Yeah, I guess it would be hard for me to
Like,
make that much money.
That's like
I wouldn't be able to enjoy the house if I had to make that much money.
That's like buying a Toyota RAV4 every month.
Oof. Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah,
Too rich for my blood.
Way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going on in my life. It's
I
pretty
like that.
exciting.
No, those are interesting. I think that it'll be interesting to hear more of your personal decisions around what you like and what you don't.
Yeah, yard space is important.
Oh, you want a yard?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a big yard, but it's like it's nice to be able to have
a
somewhere.
buffer from your neighbors.
Well, to sit outside and enjoy days like this.
Oh yeah, a nice porch like this.
Oh yeah, I was like, please, front porch.
Yeah.
Please.
If you had to have the choice, backyard or front yard, what would you choose?
Backyard.
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 Yeah.
But
front yard's kind of nice, but yeah, backyard's more practical.
there was a house Macy sent me. It had a shop. It wasn't just like a garage. It was like a shop in the backyard. And it was like, oh, the things I could do with a shop
in the backyard.
Oh
my
goodness.
Yeah, you hardly even need a house.
Brew my own beer or something like that.
Oh, I could see you really getting into brewing your own beer. Yeah, get a couple ciders going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
fun and easy.
Make mead. Like, remember when Matt North made that mead?
I was blown away how good that mead was.
So
by Matt
good.
North. I really enjoyed
I keep
that.
telling him, I'm like, you got to do it again, man.
Yeah. Well, he could give you the secret recipe.
Yeah. Yeah. Make my own shop. I'm wondering, what would I call my brewing company?
That's a good question. You'd probably call it E10.
I think I'd call it Notch 8.
Notch 8. Ooh, okay. Notch 8.
Notch 8.
What does that refer to?
It's so on a train, right? You have the throttle, and there's different notches for like the power.
Oh yeah.
8 is full throttle.
8 is
Notch
full
8
throttle.
is full
Notch
throttle.
8 full throttle. That's
Yeah.
sick. I might have to use that expression on my own time.
Yep. Notch 8.
On that, I can see on the handle.
Yeah, it clicks.
8 is an interesting max.
Yeah, it is an interesting max.
You
think it started as like 5 one day, and they were like, trains have gotten more powerful, and we need a little bit more precision.
It's like what's the movie with the music with the band where they turn it up to 11? Starts with an S.
Yes.
Like, but ours go up to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like in reverse. I actually picture it the other way. They had 10, and they're like, we're not really making it up to 10 anymore. We're really more of an 8 kind of guys over here.
Yeah.
You don't even want to touch 10. That'll explode the cold vehicle. That's overheating.
It's like, you gotta speed up really fast, but only for a moment, because you'll destroy the engine.
Exactly.
But
Well, you got any Tacoma things coming up this week?
I'm actually
You're Tacoma'd out?
well, yeah, actually I'm leaving for a little bit.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm going to Virginia for a week.
Going back home for a week?
Yep.
Virginia Way.
Mm-hmm.
Named after the virginity of Queen Elizabeth.
Alleged virginity.
Alleged virginity, you're right.
Alleged virginity.
I mean, she probably didn't die a virgin, I don't think, did she?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Were they planning on changing the name after the fact, you think? And then they didn't get around to it?
Nah.
They're just like, she used to be a virgin, believe me.
They were like,
Let's name the state after it.
they're like, she's still a virgin. She's still a virgin.
The whole state's in denial.
Yeah, it's like we don't want to make ourselves look like fools, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody asks, yeah, she's still a virgin.
It makes me seem like it's almost as foolish of a name, but then you think of West Virginia. And what does that even mean, being west of the virginity of the Queen?
Well,
That's alleged. It's not even true. You're in denial.
yeah, it's
Well, that's nice. You're going back Virginia way
yeah, I am.
for family.
Mm-hmm. Yep, should be nice.
Is there like an event of some kind, or
the
have
4th of July, the
Ah,
birth of our nation.
going back for the 4th? Okay,
Yeah.
I see now. I see ya.
Yep.
Well, that's
4th of
nice.
July.
That's a wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, good reason to go back. Summer is the time for travel.
Yeah.
And I don't think I planned up till this week, and my sights of the next month are very nebulous at this point. But I'm sure I'll be up to something.
Yeah, if we do,
something good, and then we'll report back to.
Yeah, we'll let you know. Don't necessarily rely on us for upcoming events, but if there's something like Smash Mouth, check out Smash Mouth.
Exactly, or check out comedy in general.
Or Roastamania.
Yeah, it was last week, or it was on Sunday. I don't think they got one coming up for a little while.
Okay.
But
at some point, there will probably be another Roastmania.
I might be on the one in July 30th, but
or is it Is it Roastamania or Roastmania?
I think it's Roastamania, but I don't know if it's got the hyphen on both sides of the
That would be important,
Yeah.
like Jack-o'-lantern.
Exactly.
All right.
The more I sit on this porch, the more I think I need to mow my lawn. So I think it might be time to say goodbye to the Grittisons.
Yep. And
tell them to live life like the mountains out.
Thanks for joining us.